Hi there, my name is Sinder and today I'm going to break down how I created this glowing foot picture of mine. In this picture my foot is glowing and I am hovering in space. I'm going to show you how I did this, plus give you some tips and tricks to get the job done faster and plan ahead for something like this. So after opening the photos, what I want to do is crop the photo to what I like. And what I have are two pictures. One is with me in the picture and the other one is the blank plate, which is just the background. I didn't have any special stand. I just put my phone on the table, kept it there while I took a picture of the background and then took one of me sitting on a chair inside. So let's get started with having the picture on top and then creating a mask so we can start separating the subject from the background. I think I could have done myself a favor by using a small stool or something to sit on. As you can see, the armrest of the chair, it gets in the way a little bit. So once I have my cut, I am all ready to go. Make sure the hardness of the brush is around the pixelation of the image. The adjustment to the brush is very important because it's going to make things a lot easier. One of the first things I'm going to do is sharpen the image. I kind of looked blurry, so I'm going to go to unsharpen mask. That's the one I like to go to. So originally when I took the photo, I really didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do. It was just a matter of me hovering, which I think in the final product didn't really come out even that clearly. I'm going to cut the foot out by itself and just clean up things to make sure the edge is clean and the cutout is complete. And once everything is cut out, I should have 3 layers. One is the foot, the subject, and the background with the darkened look. I'm going to use the stamp tool or the content aware tool to clean up this little shadow on top of the toe. It might not be an issue later, but you want to just clean things up the best you can before you run into an issue. Once I was doing that, I realized that I had a bunch of extra things that I overlooked, so it gave me the chance to do that, so that was great. So once I have my foot, I'm going to select it and add some Gaussian blur. Now the idea is basically to have different layers with different levels of Gaussian blur. So the first copy of the foot is going to get a Gaussian blur of about 10, just to give it a little blur. Then we're going to make another copy and change the blur to about 35, 50, anywhere like there. So make another copy and change the Gaussian blur to like 250, and then another layer and change that to 500. This layering process gives you a nice little blur on the object you selected. Change the blending mode to linear dodge, which should give you a nice little glow effect. The next step is to color the glow to whatever color you want. So we're going to create a hue and saturation layer and apply it only to the object selected. Then we're going to hit colorize and adjust the color of the glow. I'm going with green. You can pick any color you want. Once I have my color, now I want to make sure it looks like it's glowing onto the body. I'm using the levels adjustment to correct the darkness and the lightness on the subject first. Then I'm going to create a curves layer to give this really bright look, but then mask it so that I can bring it out only in locations where I want. I'm also going to add a hue and saturation layer so I can change the color of the glow to match the color of the foot. I'm also changing the blending modes to these layers to see what works best. Once I have my layers, I'm just masking in the areas and then adjusting the layers. Once you have your mask on one layer, you can duplicate the mask for other layers. I'm going to add some dust particle around the glow to give it that kind of very, mystical fantasy feel. I'm bringing out the particles in low opacity so I can control how much of it is exposed. The next thing we're going to do is add lighting to the floor. Use a small brush to do this with no hard edges. Make sure the hardness of the brush is all the way to 0. Once you have the lighting on the floor, everything starts coming together. I'm going to adjust the crop a little bit. I'm just going to make it a 1:1 crop, which is a perfect square. Then I'm going to make some adjustments to the lighting just to make sure things are exposed properly and it's not overexposed. And this is where you can add your own creative touch to it by making adjustments to what matches your style. Once I have my photo cropped up, I'm just going to export and I'm all set. You can see this photo on my Instagram at @GoGetSinder. If you want this tutorial in Punjabi, wo bhi kar dange. Leave it in the comments. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at @GoGetSinder. See you on the next one.